Both players ready to go, so let's go ahead and get this Div 1v match for CTL Season 32. Sidnev versus Hydrant to fix these, but doesn't get that square piece over, and Sidnev is gonna top out here. 35 plus piece drought there, and Hydrant falls victim to it, topping out at 79k. Double won't quite get it all the way, but misdrops the C piece. C32, Hydrant needs a bar left, needs it now, not going to get it! And Hydrant's gonna top out at 826. A great effort there from Hydrant.
We have it ready from Cryticalapis. Let's get underway with our Season 32 Division 1A matchup between Cryticalapis and ID Kirby. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. As always, we'll go ahead and introduce these players on the left. Let me fix, before I do that, let me not get, Peek mad at me there. There we go, fixed it. On the left, we have ourselves a roller out of the United States with an NTSC PB of 2,967,000. Welcome in, Cryticalapis. And on the right, rolling out of the United States with a PB of 3,497,000. Welcome in, ID Kirby. And I tell you what. Oh, let me add. I can add them real quick. I tell you what, though. These two. Like, when it comes to the Premier poll, I feel like they've been very close to each other for a long time. And now that we see them in Division 1 making waves, I would not be surprised to see them start showing up on the poll itself. I'm sorry, what? Oh, it's underscore. There we go. And there we go. So there's your cue. Bit of a jank board from Cryticalapis here, trailing by 40,000 points. But that number could go up. Are we gonna miss a T left, but not a problem. Just work around that. No problem. It'll be a problem if he can't solve the dependencies, though. Ooh, no. Now it's a problem. Interesting placement of the L. So now it's Kirby's turn to go to work on a dig. Cryticalapis has got the board down, and we'll have an opportunity to close this 2.5 Tetris gap. That will be helpful. Ah, that Z piece, though. Pieces are not being kind to Kirby, but Kirby's doing the best he can with them. Not letting the situation get any further out of control. But now double J dependent, and he knows that's not safe. Cryticalapis has taken the lead, 302 to 299. Kirby finally getting the right pieces. We'll open up that right side. Nails the T-spin. And now we have a drought forming. 21 pieces and counting. Cryticalapis missing a piece left there. He's not waiting around for a bar to clean that up. Because he is not finding one. And this 30-piece drought, all that's doing for Cryticalapis is making this dig take longer. Ooh, didn't quite get it clean. So ID Kirby, currently in the lead, but also 10 lines in the future. However, Cryticalapis is in a spot where he can't score for a while. Level 19 is looming for Kirby. Kind of a bit of parallel transitions for these two. Especially after what I saw out of them earlier today. They were both playing 18 fairly well, especially Kirby. I think he had like a 661 game. But this is going to be 447. This Cryticalapis at 425. And he'll take the double into level 19 at 450. Trying to be aggressive, but again, another drought coming at the worst possible time. He'll finally get the bar for the Tetris. Kirby is in the lead, but also in the future, so it's kind of hard to tell who's got the lead right now. My gut says ID Kirby does. But that Tetris from Cryticalapis can make it a little closer. Looks like he's gonna try to go left well, but the piece is not really cooperating. Cryticalapis trying to figure out how to resolve this board. Has a long bar dependency on the right, and is going to attack that before going any further. Now has that well open for a Tetris. Bang, dirty Tetris in column 1. And this board is looking a little better, but Kirby has definitely got a lead now. 676 to 551. An extended dig for Cryticalapis. Certainly helping out Kirby there. We're about halfway through the level 19 speeds. We play 100 lines of these speeds, starting at 130 lines. At 230, we double the speed. We affectionately call it the kill screen, although it's pretty bad at doing that to Division 1 players. So we had to implement another one at another 100 lines. At 330 lines, we have the double kill screen, or the super kill screen. And that does the job, usually, quickly. Well, always does the job. 836 for Kirby, 634 for Cryticalapis. Cryticalapis again in a bit of a dig here. And it's starting to look like he's going to need level 29 to even have a hope, because he's down by almost 250,000 points here. He's got a column 7 set up. We'll get the bar down there for the Tetris. Is continuing to throw down the 3-6. Another Tetris for Kirby. Somehow they have evened out their line count. Waiting on that bar to go into level 29. Kirby's in at 967. Cryticalapis in at 743. And both players will top out. Well, it's like old times. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Well, as you may or may not have seen on the lead-in, these two have only faced off once in the past. And believe it or not, it was Cryticalapis' 13th match in Division 3B. back in January of 2025. But it was ID Kirby that took the win, 3-1. Starting this one off, we have 10 pushdown points for Cryticalapis and half a single for Kirby. Another Tetris for Cryticalapis. Looking for a J here. We'll find it pretty quickly. Another Tetris for both players. This is a very tight early game. The way you like it. Another Tetris for Kirby. Cryticalapis also banging one down. Yeah, also talk about where these two currently stand in the season. This is Cryticalapis' fourth match already. After this game, he will have played more matches than anyone in Division 1. He has a 3-2 win over Akatu and a 3-1 win over Fluxe, but fell 3-2 to Alice. But that has been enough to give him the division lead for now at 13 points. Probably because Blue Scooty's only played one match. And after this, he's only got matches up against the aforementioned Blue Scooty and the ever-dangerous Sam Vaughn. Of course, last week had to contend with a very game ID Kirby and managed to take him out in a decider. But it was a fantastic showing for both players. 331 for Kirby, 311 for Cryticalapis. Bit of an awkward board, though. You can see he's just going to try to go for a spin there to settle it down. Good stacking decisions there. But now that left side needs a little love. The square goes too far. And this is getting out of control here. Does get a timely bar to help with the board, but there's another bar dependency. And another bar shows up. Kirby is going to take full control off this one. Ooh. Hold on. Dirty Tetris set up column 2. There's the bar. There's the Dirty Tetris. And there's Cryticalapis out of the dig. So, 400 at the 100-line turn for Cryticalapis. 457 for Kirby at the same point. About almost a 3 Tetris lead, but not quite. You know what I haven't done yet, and I'm going to do right now? Check on our friends over on YouTube. Hello to folks over on the tubes. Another Tetris for both players. Much better game for both players as well, as Kirby threatening a 600 transition, Cryticalapis mid-500s. More in line with what we're used to seeing in Division 1. Cryticalapis just going to take a burn there. Sets up a S-tuck, gets that done, and hey, look, it's another drought. 20 pieces and counting. He's just going to burn in at 582. Cryticalapis waited around, though, and got the bar at 568. Nice moves there from Cryticalapis. If you think that what he just did is easy, let me tell you, it's far from it. Whole bunch of tucks in a row is physically demanding with the role play style. So 660. Had a Tetris go to 687 for ID Kirby. 648 for Cryticalapis. Level 21. Still a good ways to go. And right now, neither of these players giving me a whole lot to talk about because these stacks are clean as a whistle. Couple burns required for Cryticalapis here. It gets it done quickly. Very nice. Check out scores here halfway through the level 19 speeds. 885 for ID Kirby, 823 for Cryticalapis. That is a 2 Tetris difference at this level. Another Tetris for ID Kirby, but Cryticalapis, the whole, not going to be able to score with the long bar. But instead, he's going to set up in column 4. We'll get the bar for the Tetris, and we'll get the well back into good grace. Kirby waiting patiently for this bar. Will show up on 26. He'll get the max out. 1,024,000 taking on 966. That max out coming very soon for Cryticalapis as well. And there it is. Another one. Be on the screen, though. 1,134,000 for ID Kirby. Oh, ID Kirby in a bit of trouble here. One line to transition. Ooh, this is going to be a tough dig. Needs to get something left, and it doesn't go. He's going to be done, and Cryticalapis is good. We're tied at 1. Jay, aren't you supposed to be taking a break? Yeah, no bar. Big surprise. 1,356,000 though. We'll take the advantage. We'll find out in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And yeah, it's right about this time in the broadcast where I get to mention about Matcherino. Currently, our prize pool for our Division 1 player stands at $105.19. And we have had 2 jabronis add themselves to the participants. Two jabronis I've never heard of before. King needs to not leave it open like that. But yeah, $105.19. We also have 24 of the contribution codes remaining. If we get all of those out, that will add another $6. And then you can add $5 if can add $10. She can add $420.69. You can add $67. You can add whatever you want. We want to try to get that prize pool up to $1,000. That is our seasonal goal. But we do have a stretch goal of $2,000 to get our top 8 players in the playoffs paid. Everyone who makes the playoffs will get paid if we hit that $2,000 mark. Helps get our players rewarded for what they do. Helps us keep ensuring that we have the best in the world playing in Classic Tetris League. Ty, lur, 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 lur. Tyler, ty, lur, 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 lur. Hi. What's up, Baldy? Cryticalapis is up. That's up high. Needs a bar. There's no bar! Of course, granted, he was high enough, he really didn't have a whole lot of time to find a bar. Get it done. We'll find out in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Did I say 2 to 1? I meant 3 to 1. Ugh. Add another one for the pile of commentator mistakes that Penguin Panic loves. Hydra Werewolf, what's going on? Tetris is going on. And right now, ID Kirby is on the verge of taking the win. Oh, now it's ID Kirby getting up really high here. I'm going to pull pole vaults out as we have another extended drought, this time 30 pieces. He banks down a Tetris. Cryticalapis does not. And Cryticalapis is going to have to hope for a third bar, and it does show up. So there we go. No early tops this game due to a early drought. But these seeds giving us a run for our money here. Another Tetris for Cryticalapis. We're tied at 100,320. With these players scoring at Tetrises, we're going to be tied for a bit, I think. Until someone makes a burn or blinks or looks funny at their pieces or pushes down. Well, it's going to be a drought that decides that. Another 30-piece drought. Second one of the game. We're only 36 lines in. Another Tetris for Cryticalapis. These players have been handling the droughts pretty well this game, though. Captain says, getting my RNG. Yeah. But they're doing well with it. That's the difference. Not saying you don't do well with yours. You know, despite the extended droughts, players aren't doing too bad in the score department. 249 for Cryticalapis, 237 for ID Kirby. Are you kidding me? Is that the third 30-plus drought of the game? Unbelievable. Remember, boys and girls, Tetris hates you. $8,000-point lead for ID Kirby. Cryticalapis looking for the bar, and there it is. approaching the 100-line turn. Good bar timing there for Cryticalapis. Good back-to-back Tetrises. Ooh, Kirby in a bit of a spot. But it's going to get the right side open. Bang down the Tetris before dealing with the vertical eye-tuck setup. Which, of course, means it's time for another drought. Are you kidding me? Yeah, only 25. Cryticalapis. Ooh, another misdrop for ID Kirby there. Yeah, Cryticalapis 512, ID Kirby at 481. You know, I tell you what, as far as White Bat audio music goes, this song is definitely one of these things is not like the other. I had to actually check to make sure it didn't switch to another playlist on me. This does not sound like Carl Casey. But it is. So lead for Cryticalapis into 19 here. Not at all. If you're curious, it's called Civil War off of White Bat 43. All right, 636 for Kirby, 559. I'm sorry, 636 for Cryticalapis, 539 for Kirby. Reading scores wrong there. Now this is more like Carl Casey. Vitz attempts for Kirby here. Really tempting fate with this seed, let me tell you. He just burns it away. We'll find a Tetris. Trying to figure out a way to fill in this middle and is not getting the right pieces for it. Finally, does. And he's definitely in Vitz mode. You know, some people just get into that mode where it seems like they're doing multiple Vitzes a match. And then some matches they just don't do any. Another Tetris for both players, but with 12 lines in hand, Cryticalapis has an 85,000 point lead. That is certainly a real lead. Another Tetris for Cryticalapis, 900. 905 into 25. It's going to have to do a little bit of burning, so perhaps an opportunity for Kirby to bite into this lead a little bit. Just like that, Cryticalapis is out. Nice T-spin there for Kirby. Bangs down a Tetris as well. Kirby's only 6 lines, now 5 from transition. Ooh, a S-flat moment that I don't think was intended from Cryticalapis there. He'll max out on 27. Kirby's into 29 at 943. Oh, another misdrop there from Cryticalapis right before 29. This could be a little dangerous. Here we go, level 29. Kirby has the lead, 1,069,000. Hey now, But Cryticalapis right behind him. Also at 1,069,000. This is neck and neck all of a sudden, but again, Cryticalapis with more lines in hand. Should this go to 39, that could be a factor. Both players kind of just struggling to survive. That is a dirty Tetris from ID Kirby. He takes a 1 Tetris lead. Lapis trying to get this board down, but it is not cooperating. Level 34 for Kirby. He's got another Tetris. See on the screen, 1,221,000. Cryticalapis at 1,120,000. Cryticalapis finally clean. Oh, but misses a 5-tap left. He just burns it down. Not going to take a chance with that, but this is a problem. Kirby is done at 1,235,000. Cryticalapis, you have a chase down. You need C36. Another Tetris. Takes a triple after that as well. We are in line-out territory. But he's going to go for the Tetris. And we'll get it. Bang, Tetris. Cryticalapis into 37. Will send us to a decider. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. GLGL on decider. Otis Cop over on YouTube says, Kirby's got this. I feel like it's been a bit of an up and down set for both players in a way. They've both had some really good moments, both had some unfortunate moments. But we're down to a best of 1. Well, it's a best of 5. Well, it's not even a best of 5. It's a first of 3. Just happens to be 2-2. Meaning the next one who takes a win will take the set. Another Tetris for Kirby. Ooh, a bit of a pair of misdrops there. Kind of read the disappointment. I think he also got a shadow burn there. Another drought coming in. Bar shows up. Cryticalapis gets the Tetris. Almost missed it. You can tell by his face that he did not like what just happened. He's going to work on getting this board back into a serviceable state. That is going to allow ID Kirby to play 2 rows up and start scoring. He's got 215, 193 for Cryticalapis. Both players are in a position where they can score. Cryticalapis is clean. And now Kirby's just going to get this down. Or try to, anyway. This is kind of not allowing it. Oh my god. Both players kind of getting saddled with some rocky pieces here. Oh, Spire for Kirby. Holding the stack there for Cryticalapis. Cryticalapis at least going to get open. But it's not going to matter if no bar comes. 20-piece drought. It does finally show up. And despite all the differences, it is a 750-point lead for ID Kirby. He'll add another Tetris to that, 292 to 269. Hey now. Kirby up high. Having to deal with yet another drought. Players are going to be leaving this set thirsty, I can tell you that. Tetris is for Cryticalapis. Being another one, he'll have the lead. Kirby will strike first. Kirby's ahead in the real-time lead, but not on pace. Nope, and will not. Oh, Kirby missing the second of the two spins there. Honestly, Captain, that would sound like something that Tyler would make up. Like, seriously. See, Winner at least comes up with something on brand. $505 for Cryticalapis, $489 for ID Kirby. We are rapidly approaching the level 19 speeds. Both players with 3 Tetrises available to them. There's the Tetris for Kirby. And there's the bar and Tetris for Cryticalapis. 532, taken on 514 with 1 Tetris to go. Kirby goes in at 538. And Cryticalapis goes in at 557. Cryticalapis going column 6. There's a dirty Tetris. Trying to find a way to get that column 4 open. And I would expect there to be an attempt at a 3-6 stack. There it is. There's the bar. There's the Tetris. Can keep it going. After that, just going to get the well back over to the right. Not going to mess around any more than he has to. Tetris for Cryticalapis. Kirby looking for a bar. Kirby has a 20,000 point lead here on level 22. Finally finds the bar, gets the Tetris. And there's the Tetris for Cryticalapis. Kirby with another one. Back with another 2 there. Well, fortunately for Cryticalapis, there was a second bar in there, and even a third. So he gets the Tetrises he needs. 777 for Kirby, 753 for Cryticalapis. We're halfway through the level 19 speeds. This one might be fated to be decided on 29. Both players having to do a little bit of cleanup. There's Tetris for both players, still 17,000 points, being the difference in favor of Kirby. Of course, if you missed Wars today, you saw that Kirby had one game where he lost by 20 points. Not 20,000, 20 points. Every point really does matter in this game. the scores were 1.3 too, but I think like that's just crazy. Another Tetris. We're approaching level 29. There's the max out for ID Kirby. There's the max out for Cryticalapis. It is a shootout into 29. Anyone's game. Who's going to take it? Kirby is in at 1,058,000. Cryticalapis will take the lead at 1,077,000. But Kirby in trouble. Needs a bar. There's no bar. And Cryticalapis will move to 3-1. GG, he takes the set in a decider. He'll take it 3-2. But give him another 5 points. He is up to 18, and now he's got to be thinking about making a playoff push. Watch him play this out. Ouch, that's rough. Yeah, I remember it last week's. That was... Last week's, though, I mean... That was just a great set, really. Another Tetris there. Cryticalapis at 34. Well, there's still certainly a ways to go for Cryticalapis. Is going to top it out at 1,484,000. Still has to play Scooty and SV. But today, he's going to take a victory. Your winner, Cryticalapis in 5.
Our top 8, so everyone who makes the playoffs will be getting paid. Gets $2,000. We were able to get that last season. We do still have some contribution codes remaining, so if you want to contribute to the prize pool, you can put an extra 25 cents in at no extra cost. $7.41 for Cryticalapis, $6.45 for Akatu. That also goes for if you don't have any actual money to spare over, but you still want to contribute. That is 25 cents into the prize pool. What's the difference between 1A and 1B? There's no real difference in terms of skill. It's just we don't want, like, massive 20-player divisions, so we split each division up evenly so that everyone plays roughly the same amount of matches